Today's video, we are going over our fall forecast. I think this is our third installment, I want to say. We will have a final fall forecast where there will be some revisions next month, so be on the lookout for that. We are using our trilogy maps as well, which you can find in the description and pinned comment down below. They are the highest definition, most customizable maps anywhere on the internet, so check those out today. And our prestige weather, where we do weather consulting. We have an exclusive community, and we do have early access to our winter forecast available, but that's going to be coming out tomorrow, so I don't think that's a huge selling point at this point. But we're going to be doing the early access for pretty much every video, so there will be more moving forward. Even this fall forecast that you're watching today was available, I think, a week and a half ago already in prestige weather. So it's only $5 a month. Go ahead and check it out in the pinned comment and description down below. It's super, super cool, and I highly recommend it. Anyway, let's get into things, and we're starting out with our precipitation forecast. As you can see, for the northwest into the north central United States, and even across into the northeast a little bit there, especially the interior, we do have below average precipitation expected here. And in El Niños like we're in, we don't expect to see this storm track that much across the north. Actually, matter of fact, we see a lot more storms moving across the south, and even nor'easters are likely going to be a common occurrence this fall. Usually those start to get going in the fall and extend through the winter into the spring in El Nino years, and we can expect a handful or even more of nor'easters this upcoming fall, winter, and spring. So definitely that is going to be a very, very active storm track. The north, not so much. Those are mostly La Nina years where you guys see plenty of precipitation. And we can see the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest, and the interior regions there of Pennsylvania and New York near the Great Lakes are all expected to be even drier. So this is our further below average area. And I just really don't see a very active storm track for you folks this upcoming fall. I think our analogs, our models, and just the fact that it's in El Nino all point towards drier conditions for this region here, and that is certainly my thoughts at this point, as you can see. Now, we do have some above average areas, of course, to go over, one of which is going to be this southwest region where, again, we will, especially late in the fall, start to see storms moving through this area here. That is going to be for California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. We expect above average precipitation due to these storms frequently moving through, most likely. And that is going to become even more common in the wintertime. So be on the lookout for the winter forecast where we'll go over that, of course. As we move on and add this next above average region, we can see again this nor'easter track here is going to be a very common one, I expect. And that is going to lead towards plenty of above average precipitation. There may be some storms that move through like this as well. Kind of just this southern track in general. So if you imagine with me, mostly just moving through somewhere in between these two storm tracks, maybe even just a little bit further north here, are going to be very, very common this upcoming fall. And that is where we expect the jet stream to take storms as well, due to the temperature forecast that we have coming up, which you'll see in a moment, of course. As we move on and add our second layer here, as you can see, we do expect even further above average precipitation here across the south. Let's say the jet stream isn't pulling storms up the coast. We will still likely see storms that do this, kind of move straight off. That would be mostly if there's a trough over the very far eastern United States. That jet stream would carry it too far offshore. So these areas would basically get precipitation in both scenarios. So that is why they have a further above average precipitation region here, because basically either way, we're going to be seeing above average precipitation here. And we actually have our very, very rare third layer of above average precipitation. And this is because of these nor'easters and these southern storms, combined with the fact that we do expect a fairly active hurricane season as well. So these areas have that kind of wild card chance of seeing tropical activity on top of the already active storminess. Those two things, obviously, when combined, will lead you to believe that there is a really, really, really good chance of above average precipitation. And that is exactly what we're thinking at this point. Now, as we go ahead and move on to the temperature pattern here, as you can see, we expect above average conditions here for the West. This is going to be a classic positive PNA pattern. So just imagine with me, warmer PNA, that stands for Pacific North American Oscillation. And basically all you need to know is that means warmer temperatures along the west coast of North America here. What this is going to do is it's extending way, way, way further north here than you can even see. So up into Canada, even into Alaska. that is going to displace all the cold that is there. It's average temperatures for them, but it's going to displace all of that cold and make it forced down southward into the east and the central United States. And that is going to be below average for us, because if we're seeing the average conditions from northern Canada, it's going to be far below average for us. So that cold air is going to race down and be far below average at times for us. Now, as we take a look, we can see we do expect actually further above average conditions here for Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. Certainly expecting a warmer fall for you guys. Again, that positive PNA looks to be pretty persistent. So we're going to be on the lookout for that throughout the fall time here. And even possibly the winter. You're going to have to see tomorrow, of course, when we release that. But certainly possible. Now, as we add that cold air, you can see again, just for this kind of central and eastern region, it looks really, really chilly this fall. It's going to be a crisp one, I believe. And there probably will be a warm month in there. Usually in cold falls, the way I see it, and it's interesting how this works, is usually you'll see like a cold September, a warm October, and then a cold November. Obviously 2 out of 3 being cold would lead towards a very, very cold season. If 2 are warm and 1 is cold, then it's a warm fall. But you're still going to see cold and warm at times, of course. There will be warm-ups, there will be cool-downs, even just, 1 week at a time at some points. So certainly there's a lot of variables at play, but we do expect 2 out of those 3 months to be cold. Usually October ends up being the warm one, actually, when we have a cold winter upcoming. A little bit of a sneak peek there. As we can see, we do have a second layer here of this below average temperatures as well. And here it is. We can see that we do expect even further below average conditions here for the more inland areas. If you keeping up with our analog videos for the fall, this is exactly what that temperature pattern looks like. A little bit warmer along the coast, still below average, but a little bit warmer along the east coast and the Gulf Coast here. And then actually further below average inland is what those falls mostly looked like, our top analogs. So this is a lot to do with that. It's highly influenced by those analogs, and that's the way to go. History is a great tool for sure to use in addition to model guidance. I feel like these days people use model guidance way too heavily, and they rely entirely on computers, and they are just not there yet. The accuracy on the models is not entirely there to be relied on 100%. I think with AI, this is a totally different conversation, but I think with AI development and just the acceleration of that type of stuff, very quickly we might move into territory where there is like near perfection with the models, which would be, great for society, but I think really bad for my job. So we will see what the future holds. I love forecasting the weather, and it kind of actually seems a little scary to think of a world where there isn't a necessity for that, if there was a perfect model, let's say. But it would obviously be highly accurate, and that would be interesting, and maybe you would still need people to tell you what everything means, so maybe I wouldn't be out of work. Who knows? Let's move into the overall forecast. We got a little off topic there, but an interesting conversation. And as you can see, we expect warmer and dry here for the Northwest. Again, that's typical in a La Nina, so no surprise there at all. Fall snow going to be possible here for the Rockies, of course. That can happen earlier or later, but it is expected to happen at a certain point, so fall snow definitely going to be a factor at a certain point. Warmer overall for the Southwest here, and wetter as well. I didn't fit that in, but definitely wetter as well is the expectation. We expect cooler conditions here for the South Central and a little bit of the kind of four corner states there. This will be a nice relief from this summertime heat that you guys have been really pushing through the last couple of months. I feel really bad for you guys, but I think there's good news on the way. I think there's going to be a really cool air mass, oftentimes moving southward just east of the Rockies. And that is going to pour into this area, and I expect that would be, really beneficial for you guys. More dry overall for the north central United States, as we spoke of earlier. And then we expect frequent Arctic blasts and dry conditions here across some of the plains, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Great Lakes, and some of the interior eastern United States as well there. Arctic blasts and dry. And then across the southeast, a bit of the south central, and the northeast, as well as the mid-Atlantic, we expect very stormy conditions. As we talked about earlier, we added the third layer of above average precipitation, which is crazy. And we expect cold conditions as well. So certainly A very cold, very stormy fall is the current expectation here from the channel. We're very excited. That excites me. I enjoy a cooler fall. Obviously, I enjoy more stormy conditions. I think that it's going to be a very, very nice fall, to say the least. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the Prestige weather, like I mentioned earlier. At least check it out. It's definitely worth looking into. Also, be sure to subscribe for daily uploads just like this one, as we do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.